Oh boy, I'm gonna piss a lot of people with this. Let's talk about the hypocrisy of invaders. What a great idea that now that the game is dying, right? Um, we've all tackled the subject from the side of the invader. I mean, the difficulties the invader has while invading, and the endless phantoms, and all the advantages the host has, and the covenant system, and how it could be made better, etc. etc. Uh, but what about the hosts? Bear with me. I see a lot of uploaders complaining and whining about bonfire duels, about the hosts running away, and that they're not playing the game, that the phantoms are playing the game for them. Their argument is that this is a difficult game. This is supposed to be a challenging game, and yeah, they're right. Part of them is right. This is a challenging game, but fuck's sake, this is also a game. Uh, they also say that the phantoms make the game easier, and that the invader is the price you have to pay for summoning a phantom. And yeah, I guess they're right that the phantoms do indeed make the game easier. Uh, People who are not invaders on the other side are infamous for complaining about invaders. It's 2018 and the Reddit joke is still relevant. But the way I see it, uploaders complaining about hosts running away is the analogy of hosts beating a Reddit. I mean, it's exactly the same thing. The only difference is that one talks about it on YouTube videos and uploads montages, like me, and the other one writes about it on the internet. Like, boo-hoo, you invaded my world. Boo-hoo, the host summons phantoms. Oh, boo-hoo, he's hiding behind the enemies. Boo-hoo, he's running back to the bonfire. Guys, check out this meta build. Or let's gag some filthy invaders that dare to invade my world. Uh, we've all been there. We've all seen countless hours of footage about that, right? And I kinda hate it. uh, Now, don't get me wrong. I love invader uploaders. I take a lot of time from my day to watch you guys upload videos from your invasions. Whether I comment or not, I watch most of your videos from the SL90 the Rafts Discord channel and from other uploaders who are not on the SL90 community. Uh, I also spend a lot of time on Twitch and on YouTube Live, watching on the streams guys invading people. And I, it's not that I don't like invasions. I'm an invader myself, but I think we are becoming elitists. I think we are taking this way more seriously than we should have. What does it mean? What the hell does it mean the game is supposed to be difficult? Well, I don't understand. What does it mean? Who gives you the right to decide how other people play the game? This attitude reminds me of the first month Dark Souls 1 came out. Uh, People were asking about how in forums about how the game is played and what to do next, what to go next, where to go next, what weapon is the best, and most of the answers were get good or find out yourself or cryptic at best. Nobody dared to speak about how you toggle escape or how you perform a successful pivot backstab or chain stab. uh, you had to find it out yourself. It was I know it was part of the experience, but most of the time it was people taking the game too seriously. It was just that. I can't find any other excuse. And people always bitched about the honor. Oh boy, the honor. What a stupid concept in a game where you can one-shot somebody. This is not a fighting game. Yet the community behaves as if this is a fighting game, which makes me think: is this an RPG game? Is this a dungeon crawler? Is this an action game? No, no, it isn't. This is Dark Souls. This is a genre by itself. Now it's time to piss off some people. You guys keep complaining about phantoms and ganks and hosts running away and reaction rolling, and I remember complaining about the seed, and yeah, that was justified, I guess. And you keep complaining about the way other people play the game, and yet, most of us will kill a lone host on sight. That is mostly because a lone host is a ganker who hasn't summoned yet. And yeah, I guess that's true. Most of the hosts have Way of the Blue or have phantoms, because in order to get invaded in this game, you will either have to be in a gank area like the Faron Woods or the Gank City, or you have to have dried fingers, or have just killed the boss and haven't died. If you have just killed the boss and haven't died, you will get invaded. You will be number one on the list to get invaded. And the ganks. The ganks are a very big part of this game. The ganks are what gives most of us footage to upload, gives most of us purpose to play the game. We pop the red eye orb ourselves. Guys, we pop the red eye orb ourselves. Nobody forces us. We wear the Covenant item ourselves too. You know? We know what we're getting into. The game is the way it is, so I don't see the point of complaining about ganks, about phantoms, about... I don't see the point of complaining about ganks anymore. I mean, the game has reached a full circle. In my opinion, anybody who complains about ganks or about hosts having advantages clearly has no idea what they're doing. Anybody who suggests changes in the Covenant system and the invasion system in order to make it more interesting, to give them a better purpose inside the game, is fine. But I see a lot of people bitching about being outnumbered, and I don't know. It's 2018, man. I mean, it's an old joke. You should be worried more about how invasions are gonna be in Dark Souls 1 Remaster than what invasions in a dying game are. Well, some may argue that the game is not dying, but objectively the player base has shrunk, and it's a sad thing. But if you think invasions here were difficult, wait till you get to Dark Souls 1. In Dark Souls 1, you could heal 297 times if you invaded someone. That's 297 times. You could use Humanity, Twin Humanities, and Divine Blessings, 99 of them. Yet the heal punishes were severe, and you could literally backstab someone mid-roll or while they were running away. There wasn't botched backstabs. The hosts could heal the phantoms by drinking Estus, and the poise mechanic could break the game if you didn't know how to toggle escape. Also, you could invade infinitely high. Your soul level only restricted your invasions for lower levels, and your weapon upgrade didn't matter at all. On the other hand, there wasn't an invasion priority, and the Dark Moons were invaders themselves. Yet, yeah, when the Covenant decided to work, you could, if you were a host and a Dark Wraith invaded and killed you, you could indict them. That was a consumable, that it was something like a report system. So when you indict someone, a dark moon would invade them. And I remember on uploaders on YouTube claiming that salty hosts indicted players and laughing at hosts that indicted them. But they failed to see the irony that those invaders, those dark wraiths that made fun of hosts indicting them, were being hypocritical by not wanting to be invaded. They they were fine by invading someone, they didn't want to get invaded. Now, I enjoy dried figure runs. I enjoy hosting and being invaded as much as I enjoy invading. Yet, most of us do only invasions. And I understand that. That's because every invasion is different. And that is very, very true. However, how can every invasion be different when you mostly go for backstabs and high damage critical builds? It's it's backstab fishing again and again, and parry fishing again and again. Uh, I'm not talking about all of the invaders. I'm talking about invaders that only do that. And as Riot said, it's Dark Souls loading screen edition. I'm not criticizing people who play like this. I'm not. I'm just stating. I'm just stating the double standards the invader community has, because we do have double standards. Criticals are a part of the game, and it's very fun and flashy when you pull a parry or a backstab. It gives you time to change the tempo of a gang while also doing good damage. They are necessary. They are rewarding, and they are an invader's best weapon when facing a party. Uh, however, this isn't Dark Souls 1 where Phantom Range wasn't that big of a deal, and you could mostly rely on your skill than the parties are one spam. So yeah, criticals are necessary. Uh, that's for Dark Souls 1 healing system and the critical system in Dark Souls 3. Now, invasions here are very different than Dark Souls 1. Here you have blues showing up as soon as you invade the host that has way of blue. You have infinite resummons if they are password summoned. We had the infinite seed of the giants, which was a pain in the ass. But one thing that remains in all Dark Souls is the stun lock. You can get stun locked here quite easily, and toggle escape isn't a thing. So yeah, it's a bit different. So in conclusion about the invasion comparison, each game has the invasion system a bit different. To be frank, I'm quite excited about the Dark Souls 1 remaster invasion system. I want to see what changes they will make. They talked about changing the weapon match, the weapon scaling or something, which I guess means that you will be able to invade people at your weapon range, and they will change the healing system too. I want to see how they're gonna do that, because like I said, if you can heal 300 times in an invasion, yeah, that's broken. But you know, heals in Dark Souls 1 are very easily punishable. But now they said that phantoms will get Estus too, and when they said phantoms, I think they mean the dark spirits too, because you know, the dark spirit is a phantom too. Like when you died, it said your phantom was vanquished, you know, and I guess they're talking about invaders too. Now, the graphics in Dark Souls 1, man, these will be the worst $40 I'm gonna spend in a game ever. The the graphics that I saw in the demo were, I don't know, they didn't impress me. They I don't know, they ruined the atmosphere for me. They didn't seem I don't know, they didn't seem too immersive for me. But I guess we'll wait and see. Uh, what is also gonna change is that now the host will be able to summon more phantoms, and up to 6 players can be connected together. And well, again, we're gonna have to see about that because the game wasn't decided. The areas weren't decided. Weren't designed for phantoms. I mean, if you have four phantoms in Sense Fortress, it's gonna be cakewalk. Uh, if you're gonna have four phantoms in I don't know, the Duke's archives, uh, it's the PV is gonna be Dark Souls 3 easy, and that brings me to my main point. If the game's gonna be too easy, is none of our concern as invaders. We're not the Miyazaki police. We Yeah, we are there to kill the host, but and it is in quotes our job to make the game a bit more difficult for summoning a phantom. We are the price the host has to pay for summoning a phantom, etc., etc. But we don't have the right to bitch about hosts. We don't have the right to bitch about hosts that have their phantoms play the game for them. Since the game lets you, since there is not a punishment system for that, then who are you to say that the host can play the game that way? Now, I'm not supporting that type of host or that type of player, but it's their game. They've paid for it. They can play it however they want, and there's nothing we can do about it. Well, actually, there is something. We can annoy the living shit out of them. Uh, we can yeah, we can force them to move. We can force them to roll. We have throwing knives. We have fire bombs. We have obscuring ring and arrows, and I don't know. We can always black crystal out and stop being little bitches and complaining about hosts that don't play the game. There's always another invasion down the way. Luckily, this game, even if its player base has shrunk, it's not as low as the player number isn't as low as in Dark Souls 1 or Dark Souls 2. You know, you can always find the next invasion later. If you find the same host again, just block him. Uh, I don't know. I'm against bitching about hosts because we've all been noobs and we've all been there too. And even if they aren't noobs, it's their bloody game. Anyway, uh, that was my opinion. I hope I didn't offend anyone because I know I can. English isn't my native language, and I can be easily misunderstood. And I can always say what I'm thinking. I can always say the right way exactly what I'm thinking. And don't take this game too seriously. It's a game. It's a game. You can. Like it happened to me the other day, you can pop a dried finger at Pontiff's bonfire, wait for invaders to come, and when you have two or three invaders, attack them. So they will start attacking you if they haven't attacked you yet, and then act like it's an invasion, but in the middle of the fight, run away and run through the whole map. Go through the whole map, up the archers, and then the Darkmoon Tomb, and then up the elevator, and go in the Aldrich boss room. Then you will have some fun. I kid you not, this happened to me the other day, and this just proved to me how poorly designed the game is in terms of invasions. At least in an open area like this, or in Faron, uh, where the hosts stay by the Crystal Sage bonfire boss fight, and they will fog gold cheese. Anyway, don't take this too seriously. Don't take this game too seriously, and don't try to be the Miyazaki police, like I call them. Uh, Try to have fun invading, and I will catch you at Dark Souls 1. I don't know if I will upload another Dark Souls 3 video for a while, if at all. This may very well be my last. This may very well be my last footage in Dark Souls 3, and my last commentary in Dark Souls 3. It was a very nice ride. I met some pretty cool people in this game. I met Amis, Pincognito, Old Rabbit One, Nazgul of Angmar, who else? Memento Vivere, Vurkos, and the other Greek invaders, and you know, it's been fun. It was nice meeting all you guys, all you invaders out there. I hope I didn't piss you off with this video, and I'll catch you around Dark Souls 1 Remaster. Thank you.